Leveling up your PS5 gaming experience starts with the right monitor. And let's be real, the choices can be overwhelming. That's why in today's video, we're looking into the 5 best monitors you can snag for your PlayStation 5 right now. From budget-friendly beasts to absolutely mind-blowing, we're breaking it all down. Let's head right in. First, we've got the Asus TUF Gaming VG289Q, a well-rounded budget PS5 monitor. Now, you might be thinking, budget? What's the catch? Well, here's the thing. For what you get with this monitor, it's genuinely tough to beat the value. Think about it. You're getting a really solid 4K experience here. That 2160p resolution makes your PS5 games look nice and crisp, and it's not just about the sharpness. The colors this panel produces are genuinely vibrant. We're talking a 90% color gamut, which really makes a difference in how immersive your games look. Plus, it's highly adjustable to make the experience even more enjoyable. You can pretty much move it into whatever position you need, which is a nice touch. Now, let's be real. There are a couple of trade-offs. You're not getting true HDR here. It uses a simulated version, so honestly, it's not quite the same as the real deal. Also, it's capped at 60 Hz, and the response time is 5 milliseconds. That means if you're really into super fast competitive gaming, this might not be your top pick. But remember, where it really counts is pro gaming within budget. Whether you're exploring sprawling worlds or jumping into action-packed shooters, everything looks sharp and clear in motion. So, if you're after a great-looking display for your PS5 and you want to keep some money in your pocket, the Asus TUF Gaming VG289Q is still worth considering. Next, we have the Dell S3221QS, a great mid-range option for PS5 gaming that hits the sweet spot between good quality and value. The first thing you'll probably notice is that beautiful 32-inch curved screen. And let me tell you, that 1800R curvature really does pull you in. It makes gaming and even just watching videos feel so much more immersive. For a curved 4K monitor, especially at this level, it's quite impressive. It's a really nice experience, especially if you plan on using your PS5 for more than just gaming. Now, because we're talking about value, there are a couple of things to keep in mind. Like our number 5 pick, this one is also capped at a 60 Hz refresh rate. But here's the thing, while the PS5 can go up to 120 Hz, not a ton of games actually take full advantage of that yet. So for the savings you're getting, it's a compromise that a lot of people will find perfectly acceptable. But despite those limitations, specs like a 16:9 aspect ratio, 300 nits brightness, and a 3000:1 contrast ratio mean you're still getting a really solid picture. The picture quality is genuinely sharp, and the detail you get on this display is really noticeable. So if you like the idea of a big, immersive curved screen for your PS5 and you're okay with a 60 Hz refresh rate, the Dell S3221QS is definitely worth checking out. Next, we've got the Gigabyte M32U, which could be a perfect addition to your PS5 gaming setup if you're looking to step up your game a bit and you've got some room in your budget. Here's why. You're getting a fantastic 32-inch 4K screen, and the refresh rate can go all the way up to a blistering 144 Hz. Now, the PS5 and the PS5 Pro currently top out at 120 Hz, but think about the future. We might see a PS6 down the line, and who knows, some Pro-enhanced games might even hit 144 Hz. So getting the M32U now could be a smart move for future-proofing. But even right now, the current PS5 games look incredible on this screen. That super-fast 1 millisecond response time makes everything feel so smooth and snappy, and the colors are vibrant, and the screen gets nice and bright with a peak brightness of 480 nits. They've also kept things simple with just one HDR mode, which honestly means less fiddling around in menus before you jump into your games. Speaking of menus, they can be a little clunky, and yeah, the built-in speakers aren't amazing. You'll probably want to use a headset anyway. But do check out the ports on this thing. You've got 2 HDMI 2.1 ports, a display port, a bunch of USB slots including Type-C, Type-B, and Type-A, and a headphone jack. That surely is a terrific number of ways to make your setup all the more versatile. So if you're after a 4K monitor that delivers on both picture quality and speed for your PS5, the Gigabyte M32U is definitely a strong contender. Alright, so we're getting to the really good stuff now. And we have the Asus ROG Swift PG32U CDP next. This is a monitor that really pushes the boundaries of what's possible for gaming. One of the coolest things about this monitor is its dual-mode refresh rate. Think about it. You can switch between a super sharp 4K resolution running at a crazy fast 240 Hz, or you can drop down to 1080p and crank it all the way up to an unbelievable 480 Hz. That kind of flexibility is amazing, whether you're after stunning detail or that competitive edge in fast-paced games. Now, it uses a WOLED panel. That means, unlike some other OLED types, it's got a separate white LED to actually help with managing heat and making the panel last longer. Sometimes WOLEDs get a bit of a bad rap for not being as bright or color accurate, but this monitor really bucks that trend. You're getting incredible color accuracy, super deep blacks, and a contrast ratio of 1500,000 by 1. So the visuals are just breathtaking and lifelike. Plus, the brightness is insane. We're talking about a peak of 1300 nits in HDR mode and 400 nits in SDR. So you get a true HDR with fantastic detail in both the bright and dark parts of the screen. Now, if you're worried about motion blur, don't be. This thing has a 0.03 milliseconds response time. That's incredibly fast, so everything stays smooth and responsive. Plus, Asus has packed it with some cool extra features. There's an AI assistant that tweaks things like shadow boosting and even the color of your reticle automatically. So, no matter what you're playing, the visuals stay sharp and clear. And you're also covered when it comes to plugging things in. It's got those HDMI 2.1 ports that are perfect for the PS5, plus a USB hub. There's even a smart KVM feature, which is really handy if you switch between your PS5 and other devices. It makes swapping super smooth. Plus, to top it all off, Asus has built in a bunch of OLED care features to help prevent burn-in, and it comes with a 3-year warranty that even covers burn-in. That's peace of mind right there regarding a top-tier product, which is definitely a worthwhile buy with everything considered. And finally, we have the Sony InZone M9 II. Now, if you're a PS5 owner and you want a monitor that feels like it was made specifically for your console, this is it. Think about the original InZone M9. It had this cool feature where it automatically adjusted the HDR settings with your PS5 to give you the best picture. But the panel itself was a bit older. Well, Sony listened, and the InZone M9 II takes everything that was great about the original and kicks it up a notch with a much better full-array 27-inch LED display. If you're playing games with a lot of dynamic range, you're going to see a noticeable difference in how immersive everything looks. And you know what's funny? They've totally revamped the design. The old M9 had this black and white stand that matched the PS5, but it could look a bit out of place. The M9 II has this sleek, modern stand that kind of disappears into the background. Plus, it rotates super easily so you can get your monitor exactly where you want it. You can adjust the height and tilt. It's really comfortable to use. Now, like the original, it's a 4K monitor, but here's the thing. They've bumped up the refresh rate to 160 Hz. For the PS5, that's a little more than you strictly need right now since it maxes out at 120 FPS. But it's great for future-proofing, especially with the PS6 rumored to be coming within the next couple of years. And if you hook up a gaming PC, you can really take advantage of that higher refresh rate for super smooth gameplay, especially since it's also NVIDIA G-Sync compatible. But here's where things get really interesting. It's got full-array local dimming. What that means is the monitor can dim specific areas of the screen while keeping others bright. This boosts the contrast, making the blacks look deeper and the highlights pop. The result? Games look more vibrant and just plain more realistic. Yeah, it's a bit of an investment. But with a display this bright and vibrant, the Sony InZone M9 II really feels like the perfect partner for your PS5. It's that complete package that just makes your games look their absolute best. Thanks for sticking around. For more content like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button on the channel. Click the bell icon too so you'll get notified every time we drop a new video at FlexiViews.